This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Well, it's spring officially, but it sure doesn't look like it, doesn't feel like it. We start off this Monday in April talking snow. You're looking at these ODOT cameras showing the mess out there this morning. Many of the main highways and side streets absolutely covered.
It's crazy just how snowy it is in downtown Portland and throughout the metro area. So this is a video from Northeast Portland, 82nd and Sandy. The slush really piling up there. We know roads are absolutely going to be slick throughout the area this morning.
So there's another issue as well. This heavy wet snow bringing down tree limbs. Look at this. Our photographer Eric Patterson shot this in downtown Portland. He says the branch almost came down on some homeless tents. Portland General Electric also reporting about 12,000 customers are without power right now.
I guess technically that's a branch, but it looks like a whole tree. I mean,
sure
that was
does.
Huge. Of course, the other big story this morning will be school closures and school delays. We're scrolling those right now because we already have some. I heard Beaverton is already delayed 2 hours. You may have more.
I do. Well, go continue your thought, because I do have a new
All I was
thing,
going to say was you can check them out on KGW.com or right from the lips of Brenda Braxton.
Okay, so also just in, Highway 30 at the St. John's Bridge is closed. So if you're heading out that way, be advised. How long is this going to stick around?
So the Weather Service has a winter weather advisory up through 10 o'clock this morning. That's good timing. Now, keep in mind the sun comes up at 6:30. You would assume we'll get a degree or two of a temperature bump between 6:30 and 8.
I'm not going to assume anything. It's snowing on April 11th.
Well, let's assume it is April 11th. Maybe that's not even factual, right? All right, so we're hoping for some improvement going into mid-morning, but it's 5 o'clock right now. I would say look for zero improvement, at least through the 8 o'clock hour this morning. We have, if you look at the radar, and ground reports verify this, there's actually snow on the ground along parts of the north coast as well. We have a big-time January-type winter scene up over the Coast Range. You need change there. And the winter storm warning for heavy snow up over the Cascades as well. There's one area, we see the green around Oregon City, Happy Valley area. That's starting to fill in and become more snow. It is warmer from McMinnville down to Salem, where temperatures have been holding in the upper 30s. But from Portland to the west side, Hillsborough 33, Forest Grove 34, Happy Valley 30. Generally speaking, everybody has some snow on the ground. And with temperatures near freezing to just above, it's a slushy mess. That really makes driving difficult as well. Here's the warmer weather. Salem 38, piece of cake. Corvallis 40, piece of cake as well. So the timeline, look for zero change through 8 o'clock this morning. And then gradually we'll start to see the temperature nudge up. We could be 39 at noon. That would just be rain showers. And then this afternoon it's scattered precipitation. And because the snow level and freezing level continues to be so low, we'll see some hail mixed in. But we have a chance to get up to about 47 degrees. We will look more closely into the fact of what the calendar date is coming up on the show. But Devin, we understand it's April 11th. This is nuts.
This is nuts. What is going on here? All right, let's take a look outside. Let's see if I can, there we go. There's the camera. All right, we are on Southwest Jefferson near 17th Avenue, just down the street from the station. Branches like this, down around the road. We have Peabot right here blocking off Southwest 17th Avenue because a tree is completely blocking the road and actually landed on top of a car. We would turn down it, but they're just putting out some of the road closed signs right now. Let's continue down Jefferson. You can see here, just before you get to that roundabout in Goose Hollow, there is another couple branches, trees down. What I'm getting at is this is not an uncommon sight, and you're going to be seeing this all over. We've seen multiple branches. You guys just said one, that almost fell in that homeless encampment up there. There's another one. Let's see if we're going to hit a red light here. But around the roundabout on Columbia as well, there's a couple branches completely blocking the road. We tried to pull those out of the way, but they were too big to get out and didn't want to damage any cars. But seeing a couple of them land on cars, completely damaging them. So some car owners are not going to be happy when they wake up this morning and find that the back end of their car is completely smashed in. So roads right now, very slushy, very wet, depending on the type of car you have. You're going to find that you might be slipping. You might be having a hard time getting up even those slight inclines, especially in the hills here, in some of those hills. So again, here's that tree, the branches that I'm talking about here on Columbia right now, but we'll send back to you guys kind of a look of what we're getting at, what we're looking at all day.
Yeah, Devin, take care. We'll be getting live pictures from you all throughout the morning. And for those of you at home, we would love to see the snow pictures from your neighborhood. You can text us at 503-226-5088. We'll be sharing as many of those as we can all morning right here on Sunrise.
And we're going to have a live report from ODOT coming up here in the next 3 minutes, but we do want to take a break from this weather covers this morning for just a moment to talk about the Blazers. Final game of the regular season was yesterday, but the highlight of the game had nothing to do with the action on the court. It was the celebration for longtime Blazers broadcaster and team ambassador Bill Schonely. Galen Etlin brings us more from the Moda Center.
He's really the voice heard across Oregon and across generations. Bill Schonely, without him, we would not have the phrase Rip City like you see behind me. 52 years of history with the Portland Trail Blazers and a legacy that runs deep.
Rip City, Rip City, baby.
He's the man who coined the phrase.
It's a slogan, catchphrase, rally cry.
Action from 15, Rip.
Bill Schonely started play-by-play for the Portland Trail Blazers in 1970, hired by team founder Harry Glickman.
Wanted to give it to a local guy. Rest is history. Rip City.
He called more than 2,500 games. That catchphrase coming about when the Blazers turned a rough game around with a successful half-court shot.
And I guess I was going to say it ripped the twine or something, but I came out with Rip City. All right. And look what happened.
He has been part of every Blazers moment, even announcing when the team won the World Championship in 1977.
Good evening, basketball fans, wherever you may be.
And on Sunday, fans cheered again, this time for the man who has given them that energy.
Far and away the most popular person in Oregon.
It was Schonely's last night before retirement at age 92. The organization produced this video send-off.
He's the most tremendous man anyone will ever meet.
Anybody that tuned into the game immediately knew how the game was going for the team by his tone.
How you doing? All right.
And from Damian Lillard Toyota in McMinnville.
Help you celebrate this evening by handing you the keys to this brand new RAV4.
A token of gratitude.
I'm at a loss for words. Yeah. Long time no talk.
And for Schonely,
now it's over.
It's a bittersweet goodbye.
I have done many, many events such as this, but always for somebody else. And to have it happen for me, thank you very much.
There were many great Blazer moments.
A voice that will always be remembered.
Wherever you may be, this is Bill Schonely. Rip City.
As for what's next, Schonely says he doesn't really know. As you can imagine, 52 years in the same job, he says it really became like a hobby more than work, and he doesn't know exactly what he's going to do in retirement just yet. But he does have that new car, so maybe a road trip. I'm Galen Etlin for KGW News.
Now to some of the other headlines that we're following on your Monday morning. Search teams have recovered the body of the snowboarder who disappeared at Mount Hood Meadows. 30-year-old Ryan Mather has been missing since last Tuesday. He was from Aloha. Ski Patrol discovered his body Friday afternoon in avalanche debris in Heather Canyon. The team didn't have much daylight, so they had to push back recovery until Saturday morning. It took a rope team about 2 hours to bring the body off the mountain. Starting today, PBOT is turning on its new safety camera at Southeast 122nd and Stark. It's one of Portland's most dangerous intersections, at least when it comes to crashes. This camera is the first of its kind in the city. Right now, drivers will only get a warning for speeding or running a red light, but citations start 1 month from today on May 11th. And Washington's wolf population has increased for the 13th year in a row. There are now 206 wolves in 33 packs. The Department of Fish and Wildlife reports a 16% jump in 2021. Wolves were basically wiped out in the early part of the last century, but their return has caused some problems. They've attacked livestock, especially in northeastern Washington, where many of the packs live. And those are some of your Monday morning headlines. Right now, though, we do want to get back to our snowy weather coverage. Definitely take it slow if you're out there driving this morning.
We have with us this morning Don Hamilton from ODOT. He's going to join us on Zoom, and I believe there he is. Good morning, Don, for starters. And secondly, big question, of course, right now, what are the trouble spots? Which trouble spots do you know about on this Monday morning?
Well, right now, we're most worried about the upper elevations, particularly going into the Cascades and going into the Coast Range. Anytime you get into the upper elevations, let's mention Sylvan, too, and the West Hills in Portland, it's getting snowy around in those areas. Those are the trouble spots. Those are the areas our maintenance crews are really looking at right now.
And just before we went on the air, we got word that Highway 30 at the St. John's Bridge is closed. Can you speak to that?
Well, that area around Bridge Avenue has been closed for a while because of the threat of slides, and that's expected to be closed for some weeks and continuing too. But we're seeing some closures around the area because of the snow and because of the slick conditions around here too.
You know, Don, I think a lot of people thought, okay, maybe in the higher elevations we're going to see some activity here this morning. But man, driving in just a few hours ago, snow covered the entire trek from where I live out by West Lynn and Oregon City all the way into downtown. Are you ramping up efforts right now to get more crews out there on the road based on just, you know, how bad it's actually been so far this morning?
Oh yeah, we've had our maintenance crews were out starting at 4 in the morning. We had them out working first thing today, and we had the crews all staged and we had our trucks ready to go yesterday. We had them out and all set and ready. So we've had crews out on the road. So really since the middle of the night, out there working the roads to do what we can to try to keep them clear and try to make sure they're as safe as we can make them.
And real quick before we let you go, Don, we have been through snow in all kinds of seasons for many, many years. As a personal aside, this is history. Never before on April 11th. What did you think?
Well, I try not to be surprised by anything anymore. We get snow, we get weird conditions at all times of the year. We try to be ready for anything that comes up, and our maintenance crews are ready for this. We watch and we train for whatever's going to come up. If we're not getting it in January or February, we're going to get it in April. We're ready. We can do whatever we need to do.
All right, Don Hamilton with ODOT. Depending on how things go this morning, we may bring Don back onto the show. So stand by, Don. Don't go back to bed yet. Rod Hill, Brenda talked about the historic nature of this snowfall because we have never had snow recorded of any kind of measurement at PDX.
No, we've had traces of snow.
At PDX?
Yes.
Okay.
We haven't had, so again, when they say traces in April, that's most likely a handful of times we've had snow in the air, but it really hasn't ever collected. It's kind of melted, or we've had barely just enough to cover the grass. But now we've got stuff you can stick a ruler down into.
Right.
So we got measurable snow for the first time. Those records began October of 1940 out of PDX for snow. First time it's ever happened. All right, let's get you going with what's happening. Drew and Brenda mentioned it. This is widespread snow. The temperature basically got down to around 32 degrees overnight and still is across all of the Portland metro area for the most part. It is warmer down in Salem, where you folks have been holding in the mid-30s. So we don't have winter weather down here. And kudos to our friends at the National Weather Service. They put out a winter weather advisory for just the North Valley. Not Salem, just the North Valley, Portland up into Vancouver, and that has absolutely become true. We've seen the green down here around Oregon City. That was a wide fetch of what was mostly showing up as rain, but now that's closing in as snow. The steady precipitation is also starting to break up, but it could be 8 o'clock or after before we start to see the temperatures inch upwards. Again, right now, I'll show you those numbers in a moment. We're generally around 32, 34 in Portland. Here's Futurecast at 7 o'clock this morning. This will be all still snow in Portland. There we are at 10:30. So this is just after the advisory is expected to expire. You got some warming now coming in with rain, and then quickly, somewhere around the 10 o'clock hour, everything will change to rain. Then here we are at 2 in the afternoon. Scattered rain showers this afternoon into this evening. And there'll be some hail mixed in because the freezing level continues to be really low. Here's the goofy thing. The snow level during the daytime hours all the way through Thursday is going to be around 1,500 feet. That's January low. And at night, the next couple of nights, we'll be down near freezing. We could see some scattered snow showers. But this has been an organized, steady precipitation event. We won't get that again until Wednesday night and a Thursday. And right now, I think that favors it being rain, but we'll keep an eye on that. This does show some quieting this evening, but scattered showers are turning, maybe some flurries into tomorrow morning. Here are those temperatures. 35 in the Dalles. We have snow on the ground in Hood River and Cascade Locks. So Dallas has actually been running warmer than both of those cities. There's the warmer air in Salem and Eugene, upper 30s, 33 in Kelso. Astoria 38, but there are reports of some snow on the ground at the beach up on the North Shore. Here's the 7-day. So we get up to 47 today, so that'll be scattered rain showers and some hail, and then just scattered stuff as sun breaks the next couple of days. Could be some flurries in the morning, but nothing organized like we have right now, and then scattered showers in the afternoon. Wednesday night, Thursday, right now I think that's all rain, but the next cold front, Friday scattered showers. Saturday could be dry, but we're still looking at a shower chance. And right now Sunday looks fantastic, 56. It would be back into the 60s, I think, that Monday following. A reminder, ladies and gentlemen, it's April 11th. By the way, 2-hour delay this just in. Tigert, Tualatin, Sherwood schools on a 2-hour delay this morning. We'll be back in just a moment.